I don't think I'll ever get used to that little noise of what that just said, but we are recording. Hello. Happy Tuesday. Happy June 1st. June is probably my favorite month because it is my birthday month. Tomorrow is my birthday. But more importantly, I love summer months. Maybe it's because I live in Florida and it's basically summer all the time, but I love June. So I am super excited to be kicking off our June work with me and chatting with y'all. So I want to start this just like any other Zoom that I do. And can we drop our I ams in the chat while I kind of get everyone in from the waiting room and we kickstart our work with me? 21, I wish. Try 28. But we can relive my 21st birthday. That's fine. But what I want to say is if you have not done your self-development, I am recording this. And first and foremost, I would like you to hop off of here. I know, weird, right? I'm telling you to get off of a Zoom. But if you have not done your self-development, I want to ask you, why? How do you expect to pour into your business if you haven't even poured into yourself? Hi, Bubba. That is biotic, and my child is bringing me biotic, so that's good. Come here. So first and foremost, I really want you to have your self-development done. You want to say hi? Say hi. So that is the first thing that I do every single morning. It's how I start my morning. I do some form of self-development and I do my gratitude and my I ams. You want to go see daddy? Can you say bye-bye? Bye. Bye. Next thing I do is I pick which social media platform I want to start with. For me, it is always Instagram. And I'm going to talk about, if you were on my, my Zoom last night, the two birds, one stone, and what I mean by that. So 2 birds, 1 stone. I pick one social media platform to start on, and whatever I do on that platform is what I do on the other, aka 2 birds, 1 stone. So if I make a story on Instagram, I save it and I put it on Facebook. If I make a post on Instagram, I save it, I copy and paste, and I put it on Facebook. I do not have mine linked, and I want to talk about that real quick because I always get this question of, oh, just link your stories, it's so much easier, or just link your 2 social medias together, it's so much easier. The reason I personally don't do this is because you're telling social media, basically the algorithm of Facebook and Instagram, that you're a robot in a third-party app. Are you? No. But by allowing them to post for you, it's pushing your importance in the algorithm way down. So I want you guys to do them separately. It takes an extra second. It's annoying, but we're going to do it separately. So now I want you to go to Instagram. We're going to work as if you guys are doing my schedule today. So try something a little bit different. So let's go to Instagram. The first thing I want you to do is your products in your stories. We should have this done. If you're on here, you probably already took your products. So if you do not have them in your stories, I want you to go run and grab capsules, a DFT, or you should be wearing your DFT, but a lifestyle mix, whatever you have taken in the morning. And I want you to post a picture of it in your stories. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to post a picture of this work with me Zoom. So everyone smile, say, hey, get your good angle. Post a picture of this work with me. It can be a picture, it can be a video, it can be whatever you want. The reason being is because you're going to show people that you have linked arms with others that are here for you and they have resources. That is a huge thing without even realizing. Anytime you get on a Zoom, anytime it's a training, you watch a training on the team page, whatever it may be, post a picture of it in your stories. Okay. Next thing I want you to do is, since we're in stories, let's go ahead and interact with stories. So whatever stories you have just posted, I want you to save them to your camera roll. If you don't know how to do that, I'm going to walk you through that real quick and then we'll move on to interactions. So you're going to click your own story. You're going to swipe up. So it gives you this kind of look and it tells you who views it. On the top line of it, you'll have how many people viewed it. You'll have a random like little weird squiggly arrow, and you'll have an arrow that is down with a line. I want you to click that arrow that is down with a line. What that does is it saves it to your camera roll. So now when we go to when we leave Instagram, when we go to Facebook, you're going to be able to literally go into your Facebook stories and repost the exact same things that you have on your Instagram. So go through your slides that you have put up this morning and save them to your camera roll. Now what I want to do is I want to interact. I want us to take some time to interact on stories. The reason I love to interact with stories is because they're real, right? They're messy, they're authentic, they're all the things that you don't want shown for more than 24 hours normally, because they disappear. So for me, it's the easiest way for me to build connections, for me to be intentional, for me to add value, for me to feel like I don't have to have a pretty preset or anything like that, right? So what I want you to do is something that I do, and I want you to go like you're on Tinder and just swipe all the way to the end of your stories. Go ahead and swipe all the way to the end of your stories. The reason we're doing this is because those are the people that you interact with the least. Those are the people that do not see your stuff and you don't see their stuff. Those are the people that the algorithm has said you don't have a community with, so they are least important. And if they're least important on yours, chances are you're least important on theirs. So we want to add them to our community. So not only do we start seeing their stuff, but they start seeing ours. So for the next 5-ish minutes, I want you to go through the stories and I want you to interact with them. If they are thrivers, love y'all to death. This is not a post-love session. We're going to just swipe over and continue moving on, because right now you're going to be building in your community and you want your community to be potential-based, not just thrivers-based. So I want you to skip over thrivers and go and just comment. But my name to fame is this analogy is if you are interacting, which I hope you guys are doing right now as I'm talking, if you are interacting with somebody and they are a vegetarian and you're like, yes, go salad, I'm obsessed with lettuce and yay, tofu, right? But then in your stories, you have a big old rack of ribs and you're like, the best meat of my life. You're not making relationships. You're not building trust. So do not interact just to interact. Make sure it's true. Make sure it's you. Make sure you're adding value. If you don't have anything to say, keep going. Move past them. It's okay to not interact with every single story you see. And I don't put a cap on how many people I interact with. I just do like 5 minutes at a time. So that is something that I love to do. That is probably my most favorite thing, is to go to the end of my stories and interact. So while you guys are doing that, I'm going to mute me. If you have any questions about interactions, if you have any questions about stories, you are welcome to unmute yourself and ask, or put it in the chat. And I am more than happy to help you work through it. But we have probably about 3 more minutes in interactions of our stories. So get as many as you can intentionally and adding value.
Hey, Lynn.
Yes, love.
Hi. Are we on Instagram or Facebook? Sorry, I got on here just now.
Instagram.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Another really good tip for stories that I use, is I get asked all the time, is how do I unfollow people? Well, I use my interactions, I use my daily, what I do, to unfollow anybody that I don't connect with. So if you see some like off the wall story and you're like, how'd they get here? Just go hit the unfollow button. You can unfollow anyone. It's not going to make or break your business. They need to be your people. And if you're looking at their story like, how'd this get here? Like, oh no, then they should not be there. Amanda just asked, what if I don't really use Instagram, but mainly Facebook? A little bit of Lynn's love is 2 birds, 1 stone. If you're only working one platform, you're not fully doing everything that you can for your business. In my eyes, if you're uncomfortable with using Instagram, by all means, work your business however you want. But I am a firm believer that you have these free social media platforms, use them. You're going to be posting anyways on Facebook. You're going to be using your stories anyway on Facebook. So you might as well just do 2 birds, 1 stone and put it over on Instagram as well. So Now go ahead and wrap up that last story interaction. And now we're going to move to the next type of interaction that I like to do, which is 3-2-1s. A lot of times I get asked, what is a 3-2-1? How do I do my 3-2-1s? What does it mean? All the synonyms around 3-2-1s, right? So let me break it down for you real quick. I do it a couple different ways. I will do 3-2-1s on people that view my stories, and I will do 3-2-1s on people that I just started following. So we're going to do both today because I think it's a new month and it does not hurt to have all the extra interactions to kickstart our inbox of pop-in conversations for June. So let's go ahead and start with story in 3-2-1s. Okay. So what this means is I want you to go and I want you to click on your story and you're going to swipe up. It's going to bring you to like your story thread, right? Up there. I want you to go to your very first one from yesterday, right? Your very first story. So mine is still the rebate one. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go all the way to the very, very bottom of the viewers. So go all the way and keep scrolling your way down. The reason being is because the very, very bottom of your story viewers are people that either you don't follow and that follow you, or that you don't interact with, but they watch your stuff. And the reason I say I love to do it this way is because if they're already watching your stuff, they know what you do. They watch you on the daily, right? They're watching your stories. So you might as well interact with them because they already have been watching you. So what I want you to do is once you get to the bottom is I want you to work your way through of doing 3-2-1s on their profile. If they're a thriver, thank you, next, move on, right? Just go back to your story and move up to the next one. What I do with 3-2-1s is I go to their profile, right? If it's, if I'm not following them and it's private, I just go to the next one, but I go to their profile and I do I like 3 of their pictures. I comment on 2 of their pictures and I will interact with 1 of their stories. But I want to talk about this real quick because I know some people take this literal of I have to like 3, I have to comment on 2, and I have to do 1, right? If you can like 3 of their pictures and comment on 2 of their pictures, but they don't have a story that you can interact with, then skip the story interaction. I would rather you be intentional with how you're working your business than just trying to fill a 3-2-1. So let's go ahead and do that right now. If you can like 3 pictures, but you don't have any 2 to comment on, but they have a story and you want to watch through their story and interact with their story, great. But do some form of 3-2-1. Another thing that I use these 3-2-1s for is unfollowing. If somebody is there and you're like, how you get here? I don't remember you. You were not meant to be here. Unfollow them. Anybody that makes you feel any sort of way, unfollow them. It's social media. It's okay. That unfollow button is there for a reason. Use it. Okay. Clean up your network while you're doing it because anybody that is you're not able to build with, you're not able to build with. So why keep them there? What if the viewers are not really current on their posts? Like my people last posts are from January or last December. If they don't have, so that's a really good question. So if they don't have a story up, I unfollow them because they aren't active and I won't be able to interact with them anyways. If they're one of your friends and you really like actually just want to follow them, then follow them. You don't have to unfollow anybody you don't want to. But if you're just following them for hope of them being a potential, you're not going to have any genuine interaction with them anyway, since they don't really use social media. So since they're watching your stuff, they can ask you a question if they have any. So let's go ahead and do that for a couple more minutes, and then we will move on to another type of 3-2-1s that I will teach you. Let me know if you guys have any questions whatsoever. I know I talk fast, sorry. If they post on their feed, just do a 3 and a 2. You don't have to do a stories. Interacting, because you have to also think not everyone is in network marketing. So some people don't use their stories, right? Some people have no idea what a stories is. They don't even know how to access it. And that's all right. But if they're not using anything and they haven't posted since like circa 2017, like, thank you, next, right? Can you repeat 3-2-1s? Sure. It's 3 likes, 2 comments, and 1 interaction on a story. I'll go over Victoria asked, what's your number one tip on finding new followers? So I will actually go over growing your network as well. That's part of my IPAs. But the best thing I can tell you right now is there is endless amounts of trainings on the team pages on growing your network. If you go into the topics section on either of whatever team page you're on, and you, especially hustling from the last almost 3.5 years, you will find a growing your networks topic section, and you can literally watch from all different leaders how they grow their network. But we will go over growing our network too today. So we're going to do about another minute or so of story 3-2-1s, and then we're going to move on. All right, go ahead and finish up that last 3-2-1s on your story. And while you're doing that, I'm going to talk about the next one. So we're going to continue in the 3-2-1 series over here on Instagram. And I want you to go, once you finished your last 3-2-1, I want you to go to your Instagram page, and I'm going to walk you through how you filter through the people that you follow. Because I get asked this all the time of how do I know who I just started following? How do I know who I've been following the longest? How do I just filter through it? So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your profile, right? You're going to go to your profile and you're going to hit following. So the last little number over here, you are going to hit that. It's going to bring you to all the people you follow. Well, if you guys look right here, there is a circle with an up arrow and a down arrow on the right-hand side, kind of like the middle of the page. I want you to click that. It's going to bring you to a sort by. So what that is, right now it's at default. So it's basically just people that you have interacted with in your stories, or they've interacted with you, or whatever it may be, right? So if you do date followed latest, that is going to be the person that you just started following today. Like your last person, it'll auto populate it in an order to where it is the person you just followed today all the way to the person that you followed when you first made Instagram, right? And then date followed earliest is reversed. So it'll be the person that you first followed when you made Instagram all the way to the person that you followed today. So what I want you guys to do is one of two things. Keep these lists in mind, because as you are cleaning up your network, it's really good to go through the people you've been following the earliest, because that way you can clean up people that are no longer there. Like, if you know what I mean, like there are some people that you've been following for years, if you've had Instagram for years, that no longer use it. So you can clean up your following that way also. But for the sake of 3-2-1s, I want you to click date followed latest. It's going to auto populate to where the person that you just started following like 3 seconds ago, right? I want you to do 3-2-1s through that list and just work your way down. If it's a thriver, thank you next. If it's a thriver, thank you next. What I personally do is I mute thrivers. No offense to y'all. I still do post love. I still love on y'all. I still look at your stuff. But for the sake of getting through IPAs in 5-minute time blocks for me in the morning, so I can get everything done within an hour, I need to have it so clean and so organized that I know I can go boom, 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 and I can work my business without having to also just talk to thrivers, right? Because I love y'all, but you're not my potentials. We're not each other's potentials. So go ahead and do 3-2-1s through that. Another really good tip, like I've said with 3-2-1s, is unfollow anybody that you do not build a relationship with or that is not active. Use 3-2-1s to clean up your network. I get asked daily how I clean up my network. This is it, right? I use my interactions for two things: to interact and build a community, and then also to clean up my network. So let's go ahead and do a couple more minutes of 3, 2, 1s on our latest followed list. And then we will move on, and then a couple more things on Instagram, and then we will go to Facebook, and I will show you guys how I work my Facebook IPAs, because they're similar, same, but different, right? So a couple more minutes. If anyone has any questions on these, please let me know. All right, go ahead and finish up that last little 3, 2, 1. And y'all, you guys might notice I go fast through my IPAs. I don't sit here and spend hours doing it, mainly because we didn't sign up for this business to spend hours on our phone, right? We signed up for the time freedom, for the freedom in general. So for me, I don't take multiple hours to do my IPAs. I do 3 to 5 minute intervals throughout my day. And I want to talk about IPAs as a whole real quick for y'all, because there are so many IPAs that are one and dones. And if you have watched an IPA training, I've said this a lot. I've watched an IPA training by me. So IPAs, there is no set list that you have to do. I have the list that I do, but that doesn't mean that my list is right for you or vice versa, right? Every leader has probably different IPAs that they do, that they talk about. Some might not even consider it IPAs, and that's okay. But the thing of it is, you have to work your business in the nooks and crannies of your day. So for me, the biggest way to do that is these 3 to 5 minute intervals. So as you guys are finishing up that last couple 3, 2, 1s, I want to talk about this and which ones are our one and dones IPAs. So example, you do your self-development, right? You do that in the morning, one and done. You're good. You just grew your mind for 15 to 20 minutes in the morning, and you are now good to go for the rest of the day. If you post your products in your story every single morning, that's a one and done. You're not going to sit there and repost the same capsules every hour, right? You do your story interactions, your 3, 2, 1s, right? You're growing your network. Those things are things that I do throughout the day, but I do them in 5-minute intervals. So you do 5-minute intervals, done. 5-minute intervals, done. 5-minute interval, done, right? A post, a one and done. You make one post as long as you are basically what I talked about last night is being a paid problem solver. So as long as you are sharing and you're building from your brand, that's a one and done. You don't need 17 posts. One really good post can do so much more than 17 posts. So a one and done, right? Birthdays on Facebook. You can only really wish somebody happy birthday once, right? You're not going to go every hour and say, happy birthday. Hey, it's me again. Happy birthday. Like, no, it's a one and done. So I ams and gratitude. I do that one and done. I do it throughout the day. I do it when I need. Some days it's multiple times, but mainly it's just one and done. Once I do set my intention for the day and I do my gratitude, I'm good for the day. So I want you to look at that big, scary IPA list that everyone is intimidated by and realize how many things you actually can get done in the first hour of your day, which is all of them except for 3 things, right? Interactions, 3, 2, 1s, and growing your networks. Those are the things that you can do in the nooks and crannies of your day that could be done 3 minutes at a time, a minute at a time, while you're peeing, while you're walking to the car. Like those are things that you can do throughout your day that will not overwhelm you when you look at IPAs for what they are, right? You can do so many things in the first hour. So now that we're done with 3, 2, 1s, I want to talk about growing our network. And then I want to talk about a post. I only unfollow people if the question was, do you unfollow people who have comments on their post disabled? No, I only unfollow people if I don't have anything to like interact on their stories or if I have no interest in following them. So let's talk about growing our network. One, there are a ton of really good training. So if this is where you struggle, I want you to hop off of here when we're done and go dedicate yourself to the growing your network topic section in the Hustle and Team page. Okay. But I do this a couple ways. I will go into my explore page. I'll see a picture I really, really like love that has to do with my brand. My explore page is full of home decor, mom life, food, things that have a lot to do with what I interact with. So it's easy for me. The more you do your 3, 2, 1s and interact with people that you actually have something in common with, the more your explore page is going to filter to be more towards you. Rob's explore page is all workouts. So it listens, right? It's like Big Brother. It listens to what you are interacting with. It listens to what you're doing. It's the algorithm. It's building your community. So if your explore page right now looks like a bunch of like Mobo Jobo and you're like, what the heck is this? Like, I don't like this. It's because you're interacting with anybody that you can interact with and not just interacting with people that build with you, your people. So the more that you get intentional with your interactions, the more your explore page is going to change. So what I do on my explore page is I'll look at a picture I like. So this outfit is really cute. She's a mom. And then what I do is I click the people that like that picture. So I hit the likes for that picture and I'll go through and I'll follow women. I don't really follow men. If you have a men-based team and you don't mind, but for me, I don't really have anything in common with men. So I don't follow men, but you can follow obviously whoever is built for your brand. And I follow people. If they are a thriver, I do not do this. If they are a thriver, I do not do this. I don't go to their likes and follow their people. The reason being is because they're not my people. They're their people. Do you own your potentials? No. If somebody who I was talking to went and wanted to join you, I would not be upset because they related to you more, right? But what I am not going to do is go and fill somebody's page with a whole bunch of thrivers because they once liked somebody in Thrive, right? I don't do this on the Lavelle page. I know a lot of people that have asked me, oh, well, the Lavelle page, it's full. And I'm like, no, those are full of thrivers. Right? You don't need to go bombard people with thrivers. So I want it to be geared towards you. And that's why when you stick with your 5s, it's great. Another thing I do is, and if you already know how you grow your network, make sure you're growing your network right now as I'm explaining this, please. Another thing I do is I like to do hashtags. I will find hashtags I love. I love farmhouse decor, boho style, boy mom, Tampa mom blog, stuff like that. Those are things that are geared towards me and my brand. So I will go follow people off of that. Yeah, I request people on private accounts because you have to think about it this way. Not everyone's in network marketing. Before I was in network marketing, I was a private account. If M would have never requested to follow me, I wouldn't be here because I would have no idea what this is. So think about it. Just because someone's account is private doesn't mean that they cannot join you in the future. Another really good thing I like to do is geotag locations. I love to go to where I live. I live in Odessa, Florida. I live in a place called Starkey Ranch. We have a cute little Starkey market. If you're from the area, you know what I'm talking about. So I'll go to Odessa, Florida. I'll go to Starkey Ranch. These geotag what is a geotag? I know I'm going to get asked that. That's a location. So if you click on the search option up top, if you're in your explore page, right, that little magnifying glass, there's a search bar at the top. If you click that, at the top of underneath that search bar is going to pop up top, accounts, tags, and places. Okay, so tags are hashtags. So if you want to go follow using hashtags, hit tags and then type in something. If you want to follow using geotag locations, hit places and start typing in locations. What you can do, why I love to use the places is because it's people in my area. people. I can find other moms in my area. I can find other like women in my area and they're more likely to potentially follow you back if they know that you're in their area. So I love to follow people in my area. Is it the only place that I follow? No, I go all over the place. I'll go into Tampa. I'll go into my favorite restaurants. I'll go all over the place because we have things in common. So I love places. So when you use too many hashtags. So the question is, do you notice your Instagram acting weird when you use too many hashtags? Do you think there's a good number of hashtags to use? I think you can only use like 20 or 25. I don't know. I don't ever just bombard my post with hashtags because I make sure that they actually are what I'm talking about. What I mean by that is if you have a picture of your kid and you're a boy mom, but you put girl mom or girl life or, you know what I mean? Like all those things that has nothing to do with you. That's not your brand. So you're bombarding those tags with stuff that isn't you. So make sure that you are using tags that have to do with you. You
Can I
just
ask a quick question?
hold on 1 second. Hold on. Can you type it so that way I can go through the ones that are typed, please? Sorry. Thank you, love. Do you just somewhat blindly follow and worry about unfollowing later, or do you click their profile to check them out before following? I will always just follow. The reason being is because you have to remember not everyone is a network marketer. Not everyone uses Instagram and Facebook the way that we do. So when you're utilizing social media to grow, you have to remember that not everybody is in this field. Think about where you were before network marketing. I was a private account. It wasn't even my picture as my avatar or my profile picture. My bio had nothing in it. Literally nothing in it. So was I the ideal potential? No, but I mean, look at me now. So you have to remember that not everybody is going to start out having an aesthetically pleasing page, or that they might not have their picture as their profile, right? I just had a potential that messaged me and I almost literally did not respond to them because her profile picture was of a flower. Just comes to find out it's because she's a police officer's wife and she had it covered like that just because of everything going on in the world. But she's interested. She ordered a crap ton of products last month to try, and she's so excited and already talking to people about it. So you have to remember that not everybody is going to have the picture perfect magazine cover, right, storefront. We teach people how to do that. So that is how I follow. That is how I unfollow. I got through all the chat questions. If you have more, please drop them in the chat just so I can move on through to the next thing. So I want to talk about posting real quick, and then we are going to move on to Facebook. So we have done our self-development, used our stories. We've done interactions on our stories. We've done 3-2-1s on our stories. We've done 3-2-1s on the people we follow, and we grew our network. We have done 6 things in the matter of 30 minutes. Do you see how quick it can happen when you are time blocking and you're moving through it instead of second guessing and overthinking it? You have done 6 IPAs in the matter of 30 minutes. Most of them are one and dones. You don't have to think about them for the rest of the day. Okay. So I want to talk about posting real quick. The biggest thing I do is I use my notes, but last night we talked about being a problem solver, right? If you were on that Zoom, if you weren't, it's on my YouTube and you are more than welcome to check it out. But we talked about being a problem solver. We talked about what problem are you solving using your social media. So more importantly, what problem have you solved? So today's payday, right? Hi, happy payday. It's Tuesday. So for me, my problem I'm going to talk about is probably around payday. I haven't made my post yet today, but that I can just tell you right now, it's probably going to be wrapped around payday, and I'm probably going to do it wrapped around Rylan because he is one of my biggest fives that I share the most on my social media. So for me, my fives that I'm going to pull from is going to be Rylan. So I'll have Rob take a quick picture of Rylan and I. Then what I'm going to talk about probably is how at 1 p.m. Eastern, how I feel, what problem I solved for me and for my family. When you can do that and you can share, that one post is going to do so much more for you than 17 posts. So let's use the content formula real quick for the next couple minutes, and then we will move to Facebook. So content formula. If you weren't on the Zoom last night, it's okay. I'm going to explain it to you real quick. You're picking from your 5s list of what your picture and what your lifestyle content is going to be around. So your fives branding list. For me, my fives branding is I'm a mom, I'm a wife, home decor, Great Dane mom, and my family is everything. Y'all, I'm not jumping out of airplanes, right? I'm not anything like spectacularly fun. Pretty normal, pretty boring, right? So you're going to pick from one of your fives. If you are jumping out of airplanes, like, and that's not one of your fives, why? Like, that needs to be one of your fives because that's freaking awesome. Me, I'm nervous Nelly. My anxiety would not allow me to do that. So for me, I'm going to pick from one of my fives. Then what I do is I pick, do I want to talk about products? Do I want to talk about comp plan? But more importantly, what problem do I want to talk about that I have solved for myself? Don't worry about solving problems for other people. I want you to share problems that you've solved for yourself first. Once you get in the habit of talking about problems that you've solved for yourself, then you can talk about problems that other people had or have. Because you're going to be so surprised how many people are struggling with problems that you've solved for yourself, and that's going to get them in your inbox. So if you needed the weight loss and that was the problem that you solved for yourself using the products, share about it. If you needed the mood stability, hey, hi, hello, we all know I need that 24/7, right? Batshit crazy over here. So share about it. If you needed the weekly pay to buy diapers, right? If you were on WIC and now you're not, if you paid for IVF, if you are able to do adoption, if you are able to pay for daycare, if you are able to just put gas in your car when you weren't before, share about it, right? So that's what I want you guys to think about for today's post. If you don't already have one and you were struggling with what today was going to be for you, I want you to think of where you were a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, on a random Tuesday. And what did that look like for you versus what it looks like today? Okay. So that's what I want you to share about today. And I want you to talk about the problem that you solved for yourself. Talk about where you started to where you are. All right, let's move on to Facebook. I want to move on to Facebook real quick because we have already done the legwork. We've done the heavy lifting. Now all we got to do is put it up there. So get onto your Facebook app, and I want you to go into your story section. And now I want you to add to your story all the things that you saved in your camera roll that you put in your Instagram this morning. So you using your products, right? This Work With Me Zoom. If you've put anything else up there, put it into your Facebook stories. Then when you're done with that, I want you to interact with your Facebook stories in general, just like we interacted with Instagram stories. Chances are you don't really interact with your Facebook stories as much because every time I say that, people are like, what? So you don't really need to scroll because chances are people that you're seeing on your Facebook stories, you just don't interact with in general. So we're going to basically give some CPR to our Facebook story algorithm. I want you to take the next couple minutes and interact with those Facebook stories. And then we're going to move on to 3-2-1s and other interactions. If you have questions, feel free to unmute yourself now that I went through the chat. Sorry, love. I don't know who unmuted themselves before. But if you would like to unmute yourself and ask your question, I apologize. Okay, for the sake of time, and I want to talk about a couple more Facebook things. I'm going to talk about some other interactions that I do on Facebook that have really helped me. So hold on, I just updated my app, so let me find it. Okay, so I want to talk about the most recent section on Facebook. And if you've done work with me's before, you know exactly what this is. Go to it, start interacting, unfollow the thrivers. That way it's a clean, like, I call it like a clean bill of health, right? So you can work through it. But for me, what I love to do is when I catch myself scrolling, we're all guilty of it. Hey, hi, hello. When I catch myself scrolling, I like to call myself out. And whenever I catch myself scrolling on Facebook, this is where I go, because I'm like, you know what? If you can scroll, you can interact. So what do I do if I'm going to be scrolling anyways? I make sure to scroll through the most recent section so it's brand new posts that I can work through. So I'm going to walk you guys through how to find this. So on your Facebook app, on the bottom right hand, there are 3 lines, right? It takes you to like your settings, your menu for Facebook. So what I want you to do, if you use this section, it's probably up at the top as a most used. So go to it, start interacting, do your thing. If you've never used this before, I want you to scroll down into where it says see more and it has like a down arrow, right? So it can expand. I want you to click that. And then I want you to scroll till you find where it says most recent. And it looks like that. Most recent. I want you to click that. Okay. What this section is, it's a whole new news feed. And what it is for you to scroll through is literally the most recent posts. So your generalized news feed, it could be posts from a year ago, a month ago, right? Because it's the stuff that people are commenting on. So a lot of times the things that are being posted right now in this second are being filtered through and you're not seeing them. So what this does is it allows you to show Facebook that these people are actually a part of your community. So you'll start to see their posts. So these posts are going to be from people that maybe did not make it into like the popular algorithm, right? For your news feed. So what I want you to do is I want you to scroll through and start to interact. Something that I use this section for also is I clean up any groups I'm in. I unfollow groups because a lot of times that will fill up in there. I unfollow groups. I unfollow thrivers. It allows me to also hide certain ads. You can't get rid of all ads, but it will help you kind of get rid of like the targeted ones. But I mainly use this to interact. And an interaction to me is not a love this, you look great, wow. That is not an interaction to me. That is like a drive-by. So what I like to do is really make sure that I'm being intentional. So if they have a dog, chances are I'm going to talk about their dog. If they cook something for dinner, chances are I'm going to talk about that, right? If they have a baby, chances are I'm going to talk about that. So I like to interact with people on there. I always react to their picture and their post, and then I try and say something that's like a sentence or so. But emojis are not interactions. Stuff like that are not interactions. So I want you guys to take the next couple minutes and interact in there, and then we're going to move on to birthdays. And then I think that's basically it. So let's interact in there and then we will move on. If anybody has any questions about Facebook related or Instagram related and you want to know how I do something or why I do something, feel free to ask. I'm an open book. But this is pretty much how simple IPAs can be if you break them down into the ones that are one and dones and you do the 2 birds, 1 stone. Okay, I want to talk about birthdays, and then one more thing, I do want to do 3-2-1s on Facebook because I realized I didn't walk you guys through that. So next what I want to do is birthdays. Go ahead and wish everybody that is on your friends list birthdays a happy birthday. What I like to do is I send them a private message. I don't write on their wall. The reason being is because wall messages can tend to just get clumped together. I know on my birthday, I don't see all of the wall messages, so they can be clumped together. So I really like to just send them a private message. It also opens up the line of communication. If somebody wanted to message you but just felt awkward and wasn't like willing to start the conversation, you kind of open that up for them. And also when you guys message each other, it makes them a part of your community. So go ahead and wish everybody on your birthdays list a happy birthday. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to talk about how I do 3-2-1s on Facebook, because this is probably one of the most asked questions about Facebook, is how I work my 3-2-1s on here, since we don't really have like a followers section, right? So I do it a couple different ways. I will go into my story views on Facebook. You can do the same thing like we did on Instagram, how you can kind of swipe up and see who views your story. I do that on Facebook, and I do 3-2-1s through that. So I will go, my 3-2-1s on Facebook look a little bit different, right? I still make sure I interact with 3 and 2 on their posts. So like I'll like 3 posts, I'll comment on 2 posts, and then I'll go in and I'll view their story and see if I can interact with their stories at all. If I can't, I don't really worry too much about the story interaction on Facebook, because not everybody has kind of unlocked that ability on Facebook. Not everyone uses it. So I love to do my 3-2-1s that way. I also do 3-2-1s in my friends list on Facebook. So you can actually go into your Facebook, you can filter through and see the people that you are friends with in different locations. If you do this, if you go friends, all friends, and you hit sort, you can sort your friends the same way that you sort through Instagram. So if you go on your personal Facebook profile, you click your friends, you hit all friends, and in the top corner right here, it says sort. So you can actually sort your friends the same way that you sort your following on Instagram. So I like to do the newest, and I like to work my way through there, because a lot of times it'll help you do your 3-2-1s with brand new people that you might not have had interactions with, or vice versa. Some days I like to do my earliest, because it's people that have been on there since like high school. So it allows me to kind of remake interactions with people that I haven't talked to in a while. So those are really good ways to work through your 3-2-1s. Does anybody have any questions about 3-2-1s, about growing your networks, about anything of the IPAs that we talked about today, or that you would like me to re-explain, because I do know I talk fast? No? We good?
I have a lot of questions, but this is going to be recorded, so I'll probably have to rewatch it. I had some serious issues today.
Okay, well, it is recorded, so you can watch it. And all of these IPAs are typed out on the team pages, so it's nothing new. I just put them into words. And I also have a ton of work with me's that I have done on my YouTube. If you like the way I do my IPAs and my work with me's, you have tons of them to look back on. It says sort. So if you're on your Facebook and you go to your friends list, so you're on your Facebook profile itself, you go to friends, it says find friends basically. Then you hit all friends, and in the right hand side, on the left hand side, it'll give you how many friends you have. On the right hand side, it says sort.
It doesn't say that on mine. I'm sorry. I might need to
You might need to
reboot
update
something.
your profile.
Yeah.
Or you might need to update your Facebook, because yeah, it's right there.
Okay. I believe you. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I just wanted to show you where it's at. So it's right there.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem. So yeah, you'll be able to find that. Hopefully if you update it, it'll be there, but it allows you to sort it just like Instagram. The next question was, so for the birthdays, Do you do both on the wall or message? I only message them. I just shoot them a, hey, happy birthday. Do you have any exciting plans today? Just something simple. I don't overthink it. Just very, very simple. Can you talk about the Facebook newest post spot again? Couldn't seem to find it on my Facebook app. Yeah. So if you go into your settings section or your menu section and you go into see more, it's underneath, right above the help and support, underneath like the boxes of all the different options. You're going to hit see more and you're going to scroll down until you see the most recent. I don't know. Can you guys see that? Where is it? Right there. Most recent. And it'll auto-populate it for you. All right. So basically, I just wanted to start this on June and kick you guys off with me leading it. One, because I haven't led one in so freaking long, but two, because I wanted to show you guys that it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. You don't have to spend hours and hours and hours doing IPAs when you're intentional. We spent less than an hour doing all of these, and y'all were able to knock out more than just an average IPA list, right? So if you look at your one and dones and you get those knocked out first, you can spend the rest of your day really working on those 3 core IPAs is what I call them. So your 3-2-1s, your interactions, and you're growing your network. Another tip is if this is overwhelming for you and working your business in the nooks and crannies of, oh, you guys are welcome. Sorry, I was reading the chat. In the nooks and crannies of your day, maybe some days you can't be on your phone, right? You can only be on your phone for like an hour. So what I want you to do is I want you to get an entire list. So this entire thing done that we just did, you can you've just proved to yourself that you can do it within 5-minute intervals. But more importantly, what I want you to do is I want you to pick one focused IPA per a day. What does that mean? So yes, you still do the list like we just did in less than 50 minutes, right? You do all the things we just did, but then throughout the day, you're going to pick one of the 3 core IPAs. So you're either going to interact, you're going to do 3-2-1s, or you're going to grow your network. And you're going to do one of those for the day. So if you have a minute or you catch yourself scrolling and you're like, you know what, I'm scrolling, I need to do an IPA. That is the IPA you're going to do. Then say today, Tuesday, is you're growing your network, right? So tomorrow, your focused IPA might be 3-2-1s. Then on Thursday, your focused IPA might be interactions. And then Friday, it's growing your network. Then you see what I'm doing there? I'm rotating them. So if you feel overwhelmed by IPAs, you're overthinking it, one, which is okay. We all do it, right? You have to figure out your routine that is good for you and works for you. Everybody is different. Everybody's routine is going to be different. So mine might be way too much for you, and that is okay. I want to say that is okay. I've been doing this industry since I was 19 years old. I'm going to be 28 tomorrow, y'all. That's 9 years. So do not think that you have to have this down like the back of your hand. And the way I was talking so fast, I don't want you to think that you're not doing something right because you're not doing it my way. My way it's not my way or the highway around here, right? It's your way that matters. I just want to teach you guys how I do things so you can adapt them to you and make them work towards you. There is no right or wrong way to do IPAs as long as you are doing some form of IPA. I wanted to take today to show you that you can do it in a short amount of time and it's not going to take you all day. If your IPAs are taking you all day, but you were just able to at least get one interaction, 1 3-2-1, you were able to grow your network, maybe even just 5 people, right? You were able to use your stories. You were able to interact on Facebook and on Instagram. You were able to think about what you want to post for the day. I wanted to show you guys that you can do so much in a short amount of time when you are intentional with it. So get your one and done of your IPAs. Pick a focused IPA for the day, and you can accomplish so much more than if you just sit and you think about what you're doing for hours and hours and hours. There's no way that you're going to do a wrong interaction. An interaction is an interaction. You're not going to do a wrong way, right? You're going to do your way, and that is the best way for your business. So I want you guys to go into June with so much impact as your goal for this month that you aren't volume-based, right? You're not worried about the sale, but you more are worried about how much impact you can give on social media to help one person a day. I go into every single day with the goal of helping one person. You guys are paid problem solvers. We are paid problem solvers. What problem are you going to work on today? helping one person, right? Break up your goal for June into a weekly goal, into a daily goal. If your goal for June is 4K and you start the 1st and you're like, I need to be 4K, I need to be 4K, I need to be 4K. Honey, it's the 1st. I'm not even a 4K yet. Like, it is the 1st. I need you to realize you got to break up that goal into a weekly goal, and then more importantly, into a daily goal, because all you're looking at is the big picture, that you're not taking the baby steps that it's going to take to get there. Nobody wakes up and is a 4K. They got to do the baby steps. Nobody wakes up and is a 12K. They do the baby steps. You have to be able to break it up, and it starts with doing your IPAs and knowing that you can do a little bit at a time, because a little bit grows the big picture. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for hopping on and listening to my gift of gab. But happy June. I am so excited for what this month is to bring. And I know MJ is going to have her team training, and Christina Brill has her team training. MJ's is at 8 p.m. Eastern and Christina Brill's is at 9 p.m. Eastern. They are both on the training sheet that Brittany posted for everybody. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, an amazing week, and happy payday. Bye guys. Happy June.